Welcome back to another Cooking with Nikki quick and simple meal. So, on today, I decided to actually do something a little different. I haven't actually had it in a while. It is a shortened version to the actual sauce. So instead of getting all the ingredients for sauce, I just got the actual pig ears, which are cut up at my actual local butcher here at one of the actual local grocery stores. So I have already rinsed the actual pig ears off, and I was just checking over a few, just making sure all the little hairs and everything was actually disposed of off of the actual ears. So here I am placing them in my actual pot to actually get ready to actually boil these and cook these for and I'm gonna tell you, on this part I actually got my Iron Chef on this part, because we know that a lot of foods can be cooked in just 1 hour, but I cooked these just a little bit over, although I was trying to stay within that time slot, but I cooked these just a little bit over an hour, and they came out good. So before I get too far ahead, what I actually did was just placed all the pig ears in the actual pot, filled it with water, and I made sure I put enough water to actually cover the top so that they don't burn. And then I started adding my seasonings, which was the accent, the garlic salt. Then I go into my poultry seasoning, which is also tasty seasoning itself. And after I actually seasoned the actual water with those, I went on ahead and incorporated those ingredients together by just stirring them all together in the pot. And then I remembered, as I was doing this, I can't go without adding the actual sugar to this actual pot. I have to add white sugar, and I actually have to add lemon juice. So in order to have a good actual sauce, you have to have your sugar and lemon juice mixed in with whatever ingredients that you actually choose to season your actual meat with. So I kind of switched up my seasonings a little bit and did the poultry seasoning instead of seasoned salt. So everything else is basically the actual same. I didn't add any salt or pepper either. So I was just adding the actual white sugar. And then I am going to be squirting in some real lemon juice. So I think I squirted that in like 5 times. Yeah, I do believe it was 5. So I squirted that in about 5 times. And then I, again, mixed those ingredients together. And y'all, I know y'all like, well, she didn't even measure anything and stuff. I do sometimes. It's just been a long time since I actually measured my actual seasonings. But before things are actually cooked all the way out, after actually mixing this together, I will be getting my tasty spoon and actually tasting this actual juice seasoning for the actual pig ears. And believe it or not, y'all, I did not have to add nothing else to it. So here, since I didn't have to add any other seasonings, which I kind of, because the video was long, so I kind of cut out some things just to kind of shorten it a little bit because of doing the actual voiceover. I am now adding the actual onion, in which I just cut it in half, and I just peeled it apart one piece at a time. And then I am going to be adding bell pepper. And y'all, one thing you have to actually have for this dish, and I think a lot of people sometimes call them lady fingers. I think, not our actual phalanges on our actual hand, but jalapeno peppers. I think I've actually heard them called lady fingers at one point in time, but I always call them jalapeno peppers. So that's what I will be adding here. I'm just cutting up a little bell pepper, green bell pepper, and then now I have the actual jalapeno pepper, in which I am slicing those, and then I am going to be cutting the slices in half as well too, and then I'm going to actually be putting them over in the actual pot as well. So the onion, the bell pepper, and the jalapeno pepper is gonna give it a whole nother flavoring with the actual flavoring from the actual seasonings and the actual aroma of it. Once it starts to actually boil and everything, it's gonna get that saucy smell from back in the day when my grandmother used to actually cook this actual dish, and it has just always stuck with me because I love pig feet, I love pig ears and stuff like that. So like I say, with this one, it's not every ingredient for the actual sauce, so it's just a whole big old pot of the actual ears. And you can see that I am mixing everything in, getting the bell pepper and the onions and everything scattered in there so they're not just in one big clump pile, although over time it's going to actually separate. But I did all that, I did cover it, and now we come to the actual finished product of it all, where I am actually placing this over a bed of rice, and I am going to I'm going to actually get my other spoon, because I used the one with the actual holes in it, so it wasn't actually getting up the actual juice. So since I was already using it, I just didn't swap it out. So I washed off my tasting spoon, and I just started using that just to get me some juice and actually pour the juice over the actual rice and the actual pig ears. And oh my gosh, with this, I started to actually garnish it with just putting either some parsley flakes, because I have parsley flakes, or either it was parsley or another one, just to actually garnish. But I didn't even worry about it because I went on ahead and got my toast, because I had made me some toast. So I made some homemade garlic bread, in which I am sitting this here in my dish as well too. So I didn't even worry about the actual garnishment of it. And here you have my actual pig ears over rice with homemade garlic toast.